now to Libya. If you thought 4 State Department officials got the boot over Benghazi, well, you thought wrong. After a scathing report about consulate security failures, a top security chief supposedly resigned. But now it has been reported that he is still on the payroll. And the other 3 workers, well, they are all expected back. So what's up? Senator Lindsey Graham joins us. Well, what's up?
I have no idea. If this is a true story, that it's just a game of musical chairs, that's not the accountability that we were all looking for. So I will get back with you.
So what happens? I mean, I know that you asked for a select committee. I know that you're in the minority party in the U.S. Senate, but we are now, this happened September 11th. Mm-hmm. We've seen the report from the State Department. They've said it was a systemic security problems and rather scathing report, although not very specific. And nothing?
Well, no one's in jail.
Well, I'm not expecting someone to go to jail, but I'm
talking about the people who attacked us.
Oh, yes, I do expect
that. And the people who murdered our 4 brave Americans. Not one person has been found. Hillary Clinton is yet to testify. Leon Panetta is yet to testify. And we know nothing about what the president did for 7 hours during the attack on September 11th itself. And they've made 2 movies about his leadership in the bin Laden raid, and they're stonewalling us. And this has been like pulling teeth. I'm getting very frustrated and, quite frankly, tired of this.
Well, Secretary Clinton said she will testify. She's had a concussion.
And that's true. She was sick, and she will testify.
All right. Secretary of Defense Panetta didn't have a concussion, so where's his testimony? And let me ask you one other question.
Right.
Senator Kerry has been nominated for Secretary of State. He's the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. So is he going to chair this when they do testify?
You know, I don't know. You asked me a good question. Does he have a conflict of interest? People will second guess, was he too tough, not tough enough? So that's something John needs to think about, whether or not he should lead that hearing. But she will testify, and I want to know, did she know about all the attacks before September 11th, the April and June attack? And I want to know if it's true that Susan Rice said the reason she went on TV, Susan Rice, on 16 September, not Hillary Clinton, is because Secretary Clinton was tired and counseling people who were grief-stricken.
Is that she told you that?
Yeah, she told the world that on NBC News. And I'm very curious about that. We don't know anything about the president's leadership, and I promise your viewers this. Before you can close the final chapter on Benghazi, the debacle that led to 4 Americans getting killed, when you could see this coming months before, is what did the president know and what did he do when he found out about the security deterioration? When the British left, why didn't we leave? Somebody has to hold the president accountable himself, and I intend to do that along with my other colleagues.
Well, what I don't understand is, I understand you're in the minority, and so you can't issue subpoenas. Right. I don't understand your colleagues in the House of Representatives who have the majority. They chair all the committees. They are just as able to send out subpoenas to get people to come to testify. I mean, not just as able. They are more able than you are.
I am disappointed. Jason Chaffetz has been terrific. The Oversight Committee has been very good. At the end of the day, the reason I want one committee to look at Benghazi in total is that this segmented approach of where the Foreign Relations Committee will have a hearing, the Armed Service Committee will have a hearing, the Intelligence Committee will have a hearing.
But they're not doing it even aggressively. The House Republicans aren't doing it aggressively.
That's what I'm saying. They should put a panel together that covers the entire scope of the government and have the same people asking the same questions so they can compare notes.
All right, let me ask you quickly about this.
We need a select committee.
All right, let me ask you a quick question about tomorrow's meeting at the White House. You got a thought about it?
Anytime you announce a meeting publicly in Washington, it's usually for political theater purposes. Nothing good ever comes from. There's one thing you have to do in politics. If the president meets with a foreign leader, you want to make sure you know what's going to happen at the meeting. When the president calls congressional leaders to the White House, it's all political theater, or they've got a deal. My bet is all political theater.
Is there any indication it could be a deal of any kind?
I don't see one happening between now and Tuesday.
What happened? Why can't they do this? Is this different ideology, or is this about winning?
I think the president, if he played the role of Ronald Reagan, Boehner's willing to play the role of Tip O'Neill. The president's 2 offers about the fiscal situation of the country were, quite frankly, jokes. 1.4 trillion in new revenue without telling us what he'd do with the money. He hasn't made a real effort to control spending on his watch. And I think without presidential leadership, you find yourself in a mess, and this is exactly where we are. We're in a mess, and Republicans have moved on revenue. We have moved a great deal, and our Democratic friends have moved little, if at all, on spending.
Senator, thank you. Nice to see you, sir.
Thank you.
And up next,